to economic volatility. He started Bridgewater Associates at the end of the 1970s bear market. Then he dealt with the dot-com boom and bust and the 2008 financial crisis. His firm manages around $150 billion. He's also the author of a new book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. Ray joined me in the C-suite in the sky, and I asked him if this week's volatility is here to stay.
Get used to it. I mean, it's like, even that question is almost like you haven't been in a good bear market before, or you haven't been in, I mean...
Most people haven't.
Okay, well, history. Understanding the history and the mechanics of what it's like. Understanding when you produce a lot of money in debt, then how do you produce, then you have tighter money. Understanding what does it mean, tighter money. Understand the consequences of these things. You have to have a historical perspective, I think.
If somebody said to you, okay, we're clearly moving into a bear market, how long do you think it will last?
I think that the Fed's trade-off between inflation and growth, it always tries to see a balance. And there are some times when conditions are good, usually when there's not much debt, that trade-off is not difficult to run. We're entering a period of time where there's an great inflationary pressure due to the fact that you produce so much money and at the same time, they're trying to strike that balance of the tightening of monetary policy. So it looks to me like an environment like a stagflation kind of environment where both will be a particular challenge. So individuals have got to know, what does that mean? For example, interest rates and debt instruments that they're holding will not have a real return. They have that's adequate. In other words, not enough earnings to compensate for inflation. Last year we had an inflation rate of about 8%. There's a zero earnings. So if people start to think in terms of buying power and realize that cash instruments and debt instruments are going to be a challenge and try to diversify their portfolios, those would be the main headlines that I'd convey in terms of, don't just look at up and down in bull markets and bear markets. Look at diversification and be very particularly worried about whether the real returns that you're going to get on your cash or your bonds. I think too many people are not worried about that kind of environment. If you even study the 70s or other periods of time like that, that would be helpful.
China continues with its lockdown. Even the WHO now says this is not sustainable, but they continue with it. And that has effects hugely beyond the Chinese borders.
Of course.
Is that a concern for you?
Of course. The United States imports 22% of its imports of manufactured goods come from China. That's a lot. I mean, there's a big dependence. And so it's part of the world economy. The war in the Ukraine with Russia, these things are, again, they repeat in history. You see them happen in history. But each one of them, and then the expenses that we're going to have, the cost of the environment, there's two sides. The cost of not fixing it and the cost of fixing it.
Sunny days, here again.
on a Monday.
Good morning, 6:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm XRP, future millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan as we get the 8-year-old ready for school. So you guys get to see me bright and early this morning. I'm up, I'm ready. We talked about all day yesterday how this 52 cent, can we get back up and retest that 52 cents if we can break out of the short-term ascending triangle? My answer this whole time's been, I think it's a possibility that we're going to work on this cup and handle. How much higher up than that could we get? I don't think there's much left on top. It's going to be hard to even get up there, but as long as we're staying above that uptrending support, we have a chance in the 30. And we're fighting with the 20-day. But right now we're on an extended bull flag. And I would not be surprised to see this up at 52, 53 cents before a further drop. So if you guys watched the Twitch live last night, I loaded it to YouTube. It did rather well. Had like 1,200 views I seen when I woke up. You guys would understand what's going on. While we're looking at this so carefully, I mean, these are coming up and doing what we're talking about. It's just, can we break out of this section and get up to this 52 cents, that 52.2 area? That's the drop point high right now. So we're trying to hit that 52.2 area roughly. That was a very heavy support area, as you guys know, for a rather long time, for several years. And then we busted that. So it's not uncommon to come up there. And that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if we come up there and hit that as resistance finally. I just don't think there's going to be much above that. Even if we got up there, I don't think we're going to be able to sustain that. It's in a tricky area. And then Bitcoin, and I'm going to let you guys go. We're supporting right now on the 20-day. Like I said, right now, it's the immediate short term that's slightly bullish, but the weekly is very bearish. So we're caught up right now between two sections. We've got until Sunday. So we're very early in the week right now. So if we're going to make a run, this is the time of the week we're going to do it. And we got a hanging W. And if we can hold this, then we can look at the 31,400 and then see if we can break out of this area of 32,000. If we do, we could get up to 34.3. It's just going to be very difficult with the volume spread, but I still think we have to have one more retest of this drop point before we come farther down. That's just what my gut's been telling me. That's how I've been doing my TA. I've also been telling people, be cautiously optimistic if you're not in a position. If you're in a position, pay attention very closely. Because XLM is the same way. The only problem with XLM is it's on the outside of that ascending triangle, which it should make you a little nervous that we're just coming up here to back test. But if we do get any kind of solid sustained run, we could just break back through here and then push our way back up. I highly doubt we're going to push our way through here. I'd say our top end would be that 15 cents, that 15.1 drop point like I've been saying. But that's a rather long sideways consolidation. If it breaks up, this would probably have enough steam to come up to like 15.7 or possibly 16.4. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. And then with DGB, we broke the uptrend yesterday or the day before. We're going to get rid of this, though, because it's confusing. There's a lot more to look at. So we can go like this with DGB, my baby. And we can just say, okay, well, now it's showing us in the half hour that this is the widened out uptrend. And you can see how it perfectly formed an ascending triangle, which means we have to make a move today. I believe today's the move day. Yeah, today's the move day on this ascending triangle. So one way or another, we're going to make a move. And by all things that I'm seeing, it looks like we have a little bit of positive momentum here, like I've been saying, and we're trying to finish this bullish divergence in the short term. I think we're going to come up and at least retest these areas. I don't think we're going to come way up there, but I think we can retest this drop point of 14.52, and you're probably getting sick of hearing that number, but that's the number on DGB that keeps standing up, and now it's up 7.6% in the last, since the flip of the clock. So this is what I was seeing. This is what we were feeling. So make sure to hit that like button. Hit that motherfucking like button. Join Tom's Army. $9.99 a month. Join the exclusive Telegram. You get to join the other 258 people. Expect Luna to pump a little leading up to the snapshot if this proposal passes. Tarot's more than... So... I will always be here no matter what. So, okay. So you guys can have a little bit of fun in here with everybody. There's 11 people already online this morning, so make sure you join the most exclusive and elusive subscription-based service on YouTube. Oh yeah, don't get caught in the dark. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag fight assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day, because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what the hell's the point?